Hello and welcome, my beautiful Intentional Intention ASMR collective. Today, I've got a very interesting video for you. This is a art magazine doodle fest that I thought would be kind of a fun thing to do, to put down an art magazine I've got and just to start doodling and drawing on it while I sort of rambled a little bit in the background. And, it's one of those things where as someone who is a provider, I want to provide the most relaxing and the most comforting content that I can, because ASMR, it's one of those things that's really interesting, because I think that it's going to become one of those things where in the past, things that were the occult and that were sort of shrouded in secrecy and knowledge and that sort of thing have become literal science 100 years later. And there is no doubt that maybe not everybody experiences ASMR, but once you experience it for yourself, it's like this beautiful and amazing world of comfort and relaxation just explodes inside of you. And so my intention is to provide for you that space. And it's like we go beyond that to say it's not just that space, but it's also a safe space. So no matter how you identify or what you are as a person, or what you do in your secular life, or what you do in your private life, or what you do in your mental life, or your emotional life, or your physical life, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I love you and that I want to provide for you a safe place for you to experience these tingles. And that's why even after a year, I still feel like I'm finding myself and I'm finding my voice in this realm of ASMR. So for over a year, I have put out hundreds of videos where I have done all different kinds of ASMR. From the smooth and relaxing and single-voiced one to fast and aggressive, and from fast and aggressive to doing guided meditation, and from doing guided meditation to doing rambles like my leftovers for lunch. And there are aspects of my life that have leaked in, like I'm barefoot all the time in it. And there are aspects where I'm also experimenting too. I'm experimenting where, say, like I'll make something like for the Friendsgiving, where I had never really baked a vegan lemon loaf before, and I did it. So I hope that it's coming across as a place of experimentation, but also a place of love and intention. So the more that we sort of know about each other and our lives, the more we can support and not question, but just simply create that space of being, and whatever that means for you. So sometimes I'm like an introvert and I want to be left alone, and I want to just kind of curl up and just kind of do my thing. And then sometimes I want to be out in the world and just sort of bombastic and out there and just putting myself out there, because inside of the realm of being uncomfortable is when things get created that's the most. So as you know, if you followed my channel, I work in IT. It's very much fits my personality as far as who I am with my family and friends and that sort of thing. So ASMR, just in general, is outside of my comfort zone. First off, even just as a consumer. So one thing that I have found that really, really helps me is to, if I have an assignment at work that I have to do, or like a project that I'm doing for a client, I do two things. I put on just my favorite ASMR artist in the background, and I kind of just ground myself. Like I sort of sit there in the chair and I put my feet flat on the floor, and I make sure that have good posture. And then from there, I just listen and just let myself be engulfed and completed with ASMR, and that can be new people that are new artists that are just coming up, or it could be old school people. And it doesn't seem very consistent in a way that is like one person does one thing and then it just sort of makes it happen. I experience tingles really in two places. I have said this before several times, but on the small of my back and in between my toes. So two very extremities, and every body is different. You know, every body has its own unique shape and own way it metabolizes things, and everyone is unique, and that's what really truly makes us beautiful as people and as consumers of ASMR. So I'd be curious, where in your body do you feel tingles? And is there certain triggers that trigger them or not? I mean, there's been a handful of ASMR artists, even that I have collaborated with, who were like, oh, I never get tingles, but your video gave it to me, and here's what happened. And it's a very sort of exacting recipe. And what I mean by that is it's one thing that this person could go back over and over again, and whatever I did with my zipper at the time just triggered her with tingles. And so I'm just curious if that happens for you. I really want to know, is there a material thing that I could replicate over and over again that would give you tingles? Now, it doesn't mean that I would do that. I mean, we don't live in a space of happiness all the time. Now, do we want to be happy? Absolutely. I mean, I think that being happy is good, but we also need the bad too. And not the bad, but we need the sad as well, because it makes the happy even more stronger. So while I don't think I would tingle all the time if I could, there are certain times where I need it. For me, one of the things that I really embrace when I tingle is the ability to focus, being able to take something that is complex, wrap my mind around it, maybe like a white paper for work or some dry technology that I've never heard of before that a client wants to use, and I just kind of get in that state and I just go. And ASMR then becomes part of the background, which is kind of the overarching idea with this ramble, which is the evolution of ASMR is just incredible. And it has arisen for me as something that, one, takes me out of my comfort zone, two, was very uncomfortable for me to create in the first place, three, slightly embarrassing for me to admit to family and friends that I listen to. But then what that did was, when it opened up, it created a context for like, hey, you can explore this thing over here, and you can explore this thing over here. And some of the friends I play music with, like, they don't get tingles, but some of them do. And that is the beauty of ASMR, is the uniqueness and the flow and the state that it offers. So why don't you leave me below in the comments where you tingle in your body. If there's one particular thing that triggers you every time, like if you hear water and every time you hear an ASMR artist do it, then you tingle. I'm just really curious how your body reacts to these particular things. And if I give you tingles, please tell me what I've done and let me know how I can deliver that again. And then, of course, it's up to you as a consumer how much you take that in. I mean, I've had ASMR videos when I would go on tour that I would just put on my phone and just watch and listen to on repeat all night long. One of those, what do you call it, like masks that are the USB masks, or I'm sorry, not USB, but Bluetooth, so they connect to a computer or a phone, and allows you to hear your favorite ASMR artist go all night long. I love it. It's beautiful. So leave me a comment, let me know. I'm going to play this video again. First, just doing the doodle rambles, because I feel like I wasn't going to talk this long, but but I did. So I'm going to repeat the video there. It gets fairly fast and aggressive, as you can see near the end. And then I'm going to play the whole thing in reverse. And the idea is that you guys are able to fall into this and get into that flow state and have it really benefit you in a healthy way. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, please. It helps me create more videos. I love doing this. I love you so much. And even if you ever doubt that, just write me directly and we will talk and have a wonderful time. I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. Talk to you soon.